Just ahead on Chapman News, the U.S. promises the most intense strikes yet in the war with Iran. We have the latest on the escalating conflict.
Also, with Kristi Noem out as Homeland Security Secretary, will there be a shift in ICE tactics? We talk with an OC community advocate.
You're supposed to support and cooperate.
And in one OC school district, controversy over whether the district should support immigration enforcement on its campuses. That story plus weather and sports just ahead.
From Orange, California, live from Dodge College of Film and Media Arts, this is Chapman News.
Good afternoon and welcome to Chapman News. I'm Simone Jackson.
And I'm Lisa Pressler. Our top story today, updates on the war in Iran. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says the U.S. will not let up in its attacks on Iran. In response, Iran launched more missiles aimed at Israel and other Mideast countries, targeting power plants, airports, and data centers. In a briefing at the Pentagon today, Hegseth says President Trump will make the call as to when to end the war, but he also insisted the U.S. will not back down.
Iran stands alone, and they are badly losing. On day 10 of Operation Epic Fury, we are winning. We will not relent until the enemy is totally and decisively defeated.
Hegseth says Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, should heed President Trump's warnings and not pursue developed nuclear weapons. Oil prices have now surged to more than $100 per barrel. Officials warn the conflict could disrupt access to the Strait of Hormuz, a critical global oil route. President Trump warned Iran will be hit, quote, 20 times harder if it attempts to halt oil shipments. Meanwhile, there are congressional calls for an investigation into the missile strike that hit a girls' elementary school in Iran, killing 170 people, including several children. President Trump has suggested Iran itself is responsible for the attack, which Senator Chuck Schumer says is, quote, appalling.
U.S. veterans have mixed emotions about the conflict in Iran. Recently, at the U.S. Capitol, there was an altercation involving Marine Corps veteran Brian McGinnis. He was forcibly removed by Capitol Police and Montana Senator Tim Sheehy while protesting the administration's missile strikes. Marine Corps veteran Kyle Carr served from 2009 to 2018. He is concerned about the conflict turning into an extended U.S. involvement.
Knowing what Iraq and Afghanistan turned into after 20 plus years of conflict and to have really nothing to show for it, is it really worth to send American lives to succumb to that same fate for another country that just is nothing that, we can't control that region.
Carr also says even veterans who oppose or have reservations about the current war are still united in their support of those who are serving.
Some experts are wondering if a change in leadership in the Trump administration will mean changes in the aggressive methods ICE has been deploying for immigration enforcement. Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen will replace Kristi Noem as Homeland Security Secretary. Noem was fired by President Trump last week. Chapman professor Nancy Rios Contreras is an advocate for immigrant communities, says the change in leadership won't necessarily impact the local community.
When you change the person at the top, what we have seen is that it doesn't really change the impact at the community level. So undocumented families, they are still living in fear. Undocumented families still have to take care of the children.
After leaving Homeland Security, Noem was named as a special envoy for the Shield of Americas, President Trump's summit aimed at cracking down on drug cartels.
A landmark court case in Los Angeles is bringing new attention to social media addiction.
A 20-year-old woman and her mother are suing some of the world's biggest tech companies, including Meta and YouTube, claiming their platforms are designed to keep young users hooked. Chapman News reporter Isaac Persky is live with more on what this trial means for social media users. Isaac?
Thanks, Lisa and Simone. The plaintiff in the case is known only by her initials, KGM. She says that she began using social media at just 6 years old and later became dependent on the platforms. Recently in court, she described the emotional impact of not receiving enough likes or comments on her posts on platforms like Instagram and YouTube. The trial is once again prompting conversations about social media and its impact on mental health. Recently, I spoke to Chapman students on Chapman University's campus who shared their thoughts on how social media impacts them and the people around them. One student said that she believes social media algorithms are harming her attention span.
I delete social media a lot and then re-download it if needed. I feel like when I delete social media, I feel a lot better.
The lawsuit argues that features like infinite scroll, algorithms, and constant notifications are meant to keep social media users, especially teens, on their phones longer. KGM's lawyers maintain social media use contributes to issues like anxiety and depression. Students we talked to agree, including one who says she even deletes social media from time to time.
For example, like TikTok, they use super quick, maybe 10 to 15 seconds video to attract you and make your brain always be super active in all the time.
Legal experts say the case could have consequences for the tech industry, including new regulations and changes to the way social media platforms are designed. Given recent cases in the past, it could take months or even years before a final decision is reached. Reporting live in Orange, I'm Isaac Persky with Chapman News.
Thank you, Isaac. And debate will continue later today in the Placenta Yorba Linda School District on a controversial proposal about whether the district should support immigration enforcement on its campuses. Last month, school board trustee Leandra Blades introduced a measure supporting ICE enforcement, and that sparked strong public reaction. More than 50 speakers requested to speak to the board, and students walked out of class to protest. Blades' resolution left out language requiring immigration officers to have a warrant or court order before entering a classroom. She says her critics were just overreacting.
A warrant, you have to have a reason to go in there. You have to have some type of authorization. And so that was never going to change. And so I think that the reason they didn't, I think what they were trying to distract from is they were trying to just make this a big narrative like, oh, ICE can, and where in the policy or where in the resolution does it say ICE can come onto campus with no warrant? Like that was like so ridiculous.
Passed a revised version that does not mention federal immigration officers and instead supports law enforcement working in partnership with the district. They will revisit the policy again at tonight's board meeting.
The Santa Ana City Council will hold a public hearing to review how police handled last year's ICE protests in downtown Santa Ana. I spoke with a council member and community advocate to get their thoughts. City leaders are reviewing how the Santa Ana Police Department responded to ICE protests on June 9th near the Civic Center and Federal Plaza in downtown Santa Ana, including the use of less lethal force such as projectiles and tear gas. Councilmember Benjamin Vasquez explains the process of the review.
So all the questions will come from the City Council and we get to review in that matter, question why they acted in such a way and who else was there.
The Santa Ana Police Department released a statement saying officers were committed to protecting public safety while upholding the constitutional rights of protesters. The department also released video which says it shows protesters breaking the law. The director of Chispa OC Political Organization says the police response raised concerns.
We have members that were brutalized that still want answers, that still want accountability. And essentially, it also deepened this mistrust between the police and protesters.
A public hearing is expected to take place later this month here at Santa Ana City Hall. It's a chance for community members to voice their opinions about police policy and protest response.
I'm hoping moving forward, based on this meeting, that there are recommendations that are made by the council on how police should respond to demonstrations.
I want to make sure that the police department is looking at how things are done and how they want to be perceived. If we're really doing community policing, well, let's show we're for the community.
Councilmember Vasquez was at the anti-ICE protest last June. He says that demonstration was peaceful and the police response was an overreaction.
All right, now let's turn to weather. It's looking a little cloudy out there today here at Chapman.
But we are looking for some sun this afternoon. Kira Johnson joins us now with a look at the forecast.
Lisa and Simone, thank you guys so much. Today, look at this beautiful, beautiful city of Orange Plaza behind me. It's looking nice out. It is going to get a little bit sunnier, but for now, it's a little bit of that cloud cover. We're sitting at 65 degrees today in Orange, but it does feel like 63 degrees. Winds are fairly mild at 3 miles an hour. Humidity sitting around 71%. Visibility at 14 miles and rain at that near zero chance of rain. So overall, it's pretty comfortable if you're planning on heading out this evening. Go ahead. So inland and Riverside, we see Corona and Riverside at 70 degrees. Orange County, we're seeing 69 degrees in Anaheim, Orange, and Santa Ana, 68 degrees in Irvine, Westminster at 67. And along the coast here, we see it gets slightly cooler. Huntington at 64, Newport at 65, and Laguna, the lowest spot on the map today at 64 degrees. Next up, our 5-day forecast. Looking ahead at this week, today our high is going to be a 72. Wednesday, temperatures are going to be warming up a bit, 80 degrees. And then Thursday through Friday and Saturday, it is going into the 90s, 96, 97, and 91. So be sure if you guys got to be hitting the beach this weekend. Zero chances of rain this week as well. Winds are going to stay relatively light. As for Santa Ana winds, we hear about them all the time here in Southern California, but what exactly are they and why do they happen? In just a bit, I'll break down everything you need to know about the Santa Ana winds and which OC city is taking action to get drivers to slow down. Stay with us.
I'm worried about Mom.
Mom? She's fine. These the ones, right, Mom?
Yeah, groundlings.
Sweet potatoes.
Daddy, it's salty.
Some things come with age.
And some don't. Early detection of Alzheimer's can lead to better care for your loved one. Learn the early warning signs at 10signs.org.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
Some San Juan Capistrano residents are opposed to changes at one of their local landfills. The plan is to double the amount of trash delivered daily to the Prima de Shesha landfill. Last month, County Waste and Recycling began sending out public notices about an environmental impact study for expanding the capacity of the landfill. County Supervisor Katrina Foley says she was not notified and does not support expanding the landfill.
We should not be trying to proceed in a way that creates more landfill capacity. We should be really educating our community to reduce our waste.
Though the comment period remains open, residents say the landfill has contributed to poor air quality and increased traffic problems.
A major new housing development has won approval here in OC despite the opposition of many neighbors. The proposed 447-unit apartment building near the Anaheim Hills Festival Shopping Center was approved in a close 4-3 vote by the City Council. Some local residents opposed the project, citing fire safety and evacuation risks. Council members voting for the development say the city must accommodate increased housing demand. They also note the project complies with state fire codes for developments in high fire risk areas.
Irvine drivers will need to keep a close eye out for some new speed limits. More than 50 road segments are undergoing change. Chapman News reporter Isabella Savea tells us where you need to start slowing down.
Technology Drive is one of the many streets along with Bosque Road and Irvine Boulevard to see speed limit changes. There are 56 road segments decreasing between 5 to 10 miles per hour. Irvine Vice Mayor James Mai says 2 stretches along Bosque will actually see an increase in the speed limit from 25 to 35 miles per hour, encouraging drivers to use different connecting roads.
Some of the areas, like at the Great Park to Bosque, they are long stretches, and so they made sure to encourage people to start using those roads more as instead of using the interior roads. So they increased those ones.
The changes are the result of a state bill giving City Council the ability to make changes to speed limits on local roads. Previously, the state would artificially set and increase limits without any actual data or history. Some Irvine drivers say they were not aware of the new speed limits, but are comfortable with the change.
If it was a bigger job, maybe more than 5 miles off from what it usually is, I would probably feel more justly or have more say about it. But since it's so minimal, I don't find myself getting that upset about it.
The City Council report estimated the new installments costing $40,000. It's included in the 2025 to 2026 fiscal year's Public Works and Sustainability budget. For the full map of speed limit changes, visit our website at chapmannews.org. In Irvine, I'm Isabel Savea reporting for Chapman News.
3 cities across Orange County are working to replace bronze plaques that were recently stolen. Last month, the plaques at the Orange Circle, the Veterans Memorial at Veterans Sports Park, and a Veterans Memorial in Huntington Beach was taken in a series of robberies. Orange police have charged and arrested Long Beach resident Sean Green with multiple counts of grand theft and vandalism. While officials say it's unlikely the original plaques have already been recycled, leaders in Tustin and Huntington Beach have announced plans to replace the plaques before Memorial Day weekend in May.
Today marks National Women and Girls HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. The day highlights HIV's continued impact on women in the United States. While rates have declined overall, thousands of women still live with the virus. Health leaders stress the importance of testing, treatment, and prevention options like PrEP. UCI Dr. Catherine Diamond says breaking the stigma would help women seek more care.
I think, again, that's because of the risks of infection being sex between men and injection drug use and sex in general. In our culture, we don't feel comfortable talking about that.
Health experts say early detection and proper treatment can lead to a long and healthy life. For more information on testing resources, visit hiv.gov.
This Thursday is National Plant a Flower Day, a good reminder on how small actions could help our environment. Chapman News reporter Lauren Besso has more.
Just like Dr. Seuss says in the Lorax, we have to let the plants grow. National Plant a Flower Day celebrates flowers, gardens, and doing good for the environment. With our population increasing its CO2 emissions every year, we're seeing more droughts, and that is harming the plants which the earth relies on. Chapman environmental science professor Joshua Fisher says the effects of this keep getting more and more serious.
Look at, say, the Amazon. A lot of these models that predict the crash of the Amazon are saying it's going to crash because there's going to be more droughts. There's going to be more frequent droughts, bigger droughts, more intense droughts, and these projections in the future are starting to become reality. They're not projections anymore.
There are ways to help slow down the impact. Planting flowers can have many positive impacts on ecosystems. Chapman student Abby Halling works in the community garden on campus.
It's a really good place to cultivate a positive relationship with nature and use gardening as a skill that you can take with you.
Here are some community gardens right here in Orange County that currently have plots open for planting or are accepting volunteers. Keeping the conversation alive in the community is the best way to help slow down climate change. So go celebrate National Plant a Flower Day with all of your friends and help out our planet. Reporting for Chapman News, I'm Lauren Besso.
And speaking of the outdoors, this past week has also brought some strong Santa Ana winds, Simone.
I know, I almost blew away, Lisa, but I made it, so that's all good. Kara Johnson joins us now with some more.
Thanks, Lisa and Simone. Yeah, the Santa Ana winds have returned to Southern California, and we are experiencing yet another round of winds this past week, bringing gusty conditions and warmer temperatures across the region. Santa Ana winds here form when high pressure builds over that Great Basin area, and then that air moves down towards this coastal region right here. As the air descends in towards the sea level, it compresses, warms, and dries out, creating that hot, dry condition that we often feel here in Orange County. Wind speeds across SoCal this weekend in this recent event, wind gusts in the mountains Mountain areas here reached up to 60 to 70 miles per hour in those areas. Inland valleys with gusts between 40 to 55 miles an hour, and even along our Orange County coastline here, wind speeds topped 20 to 35 miles per hour. Those offshore winds helped push temperatures onto the 80s and even upper 90s in some parts of Southern California, which is much warmer than average here for your early average March. Santa Ana winds happen several times each year, typically 10 to 25 events annually, and most of these events last around 3 to 5 days. Some can even last up to a week. While Santa Ana winds do often bring clear skies and that warm weather, they can also stir up dust and pollen, which can worsen your seasonal allergies for many people across the region. These winds also increase fire risk danger because the extremely hot gusts can help to spread the fires quickly. And for that, now the winds are beginning to ease, but it's just a reminder of how quickly conditions can change here in Southern California. I'm Kira Johnson reporting for Chapman News.
Thank you, Kira. And the Oscars are this Sunday, and the buzz is already building. After the break, Dean Galloway joins us live in the studio with his predictions for Hollywood's biggest night.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Some people judge a book by its cover, and if you're not what people are looking for, you're kind of like a reject.
School, it feels like everyone's staring at me and I'm just kind of not really a person.
It just feels hard today. Nobody was listening to me.
And I'll try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at soundidouttogether.org.
Turning a published work into a film is a challenge, and it often leaves fans divided. Which was better, the movie or the original work?
Film adaptations are everywhere. Movies inspired by everything from books to video games. But as directors put their own spin on these stories, some fans are asking, are they taking creative liberty a bit too far? The latest example? Emerald Fennell's new adaptation of Wuthering Heights. While some audiences praise the film's stylized approach, others say it strays too far from Emily Bronte's classical novel.
I think adaptations aren't necessarily designed where they have to be completely faithful. I think you have to make a lot of changes when you put something to the screen. I've done it before. I think as long as you keep the spirit of the book, the themes of the book, or whatever the source material is, and you're not destroying that, I think you're in good shape.
Film adaptations make up more than half of annual box office revenue, with some years reaching as much as nearly 70%. But for many viewers, the original story will always come first.
You can still read the book. You can still do that. No one took the book off the shelves. I'm all for supporting the originals. Like, I understand when a remake or an adaptation, like, oh gosh, it's like, it's not for me, right? Maybe it's not supposed to be for me, but I'm not going to now discredit everything I've known about it up until that point. I'm going to still enjoy the original because it'll never go away.
Continues to push out adaptations, the debate between creative freedom and staying true to the source material isn't going away anytime soon.
The 98th Academy Awards will take place at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood this Sunday.
And joining us now in the studio is the Dean of Chapman's Dodge College of Film and Media Arts, Stephen Galloway, to share his predictions. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
We're going to jump right in and we're going to ask you, what was your favorite film from this last year?
Probably Sentimental Value.
Okay.
It's very humane. I feel the kind of liberal, character-driven film is on the way out. And so I'm thrilled to see it again. Also, we have the director here from Masterclass, who was a terrific guest. And whenever they come here, I like their films a lot more, so.
Right? You get to like see it in real life and talk to them and you're like, your work
Yes.
is amazing. So that definitely helps to see them in person.
Yeah, well, let's start with the biggest category of the night, Best Picture. So some of the nominees include F1, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. Which one are you going for?
So one thing you have to remember is the Oscars are politics. And I mean that in two senses. First of all, you can't detach them from what's going on in society. That's the first thing. And secondly, it's like a political race. You can peak too early. Many years ago, it was Social Network versus The King's Speech. Everybody thought it would be Social Network. It peaked too soon. I think you're going to see that this year. 2 weeks ago, it was one battle after another. I think Sinners now has the edge, but it is neck and neck. Don't put any money on my predictions, okay?
Right? I totally agree. Well, speaking of Sinners, that leads us to our Best Actor nominations, which are a little iffy right now. You have the battle between Timothée Chalamet and Michael B. Jordan. What are your predictions for Best Actor?
Well, you've got lots of battles there.
Yeah.
Because you've also got DiCaprio. Each one
Right.
has a strike against him. DiCaprio's won before.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan, I don't think was the greatest performance he's given. And unfortunately, Timothée Chalamet, again, peaked too soon, plays a character people don't like in a movie that young people loved, but over 30 they didn't.
That's true.
And that's the Oscar voters. So I'm going to go a bit out on a limb. I've always said 3 factors guarantee a win. Play period, play an accent, play ugly. Michael B. Jordan has 2 of the factors. I'm going to go for him.
Okay, I agree with that. I think you can't beat the double Michael B. Jordan in Sinners.
That's what I was saying.
Right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And finally, Best Actress. So we have Emma Stone and Kate Hudson. Who do we think for that?
This is the only slam dunk category.
Right.
And it's Jessie Buckley.
I agree.
And she's a wonderful actress. People love her in the film. The film is probably not going to win any of the big awards. This is hers all the way. And if she doesn't win it, it will be one of the all-time upsets. It won't happen.
Totally. I agree. Well, we'll have to see how it all plays out Sunday night. Dean Galloway, again, thank you so much for joining us. It was such a pleasure.
Me too, me too. And as I said, don't bet anything on these predictions.
Okay, noted.
Deans know nothing. Quote me.
Perfect. All right, well, rock legend Bruce Springsteen is going on tour later this month after releasing his protest song, Streets of Minneapolis.
The song is a response to the killing of 2 protesters by ICE. Chapman News reporter Gabriela Reynoso joins us now with more on the story.
Thanks, Lisa and Simone. Springsteen is a part of a long tradition of political activism in rock music. I spoke with 2 experts here on the Chapman campus about how and why musicians speak out about controversial issues. Chapman professor of music theory and composition Sean Himes says artists ranging from Bob Dylan to U2 are known for writing lyrics that are social commentary on the most controversial issues of the day.
Music has always been a way, I think, because it reaches so many people, that artists can kind of make their opinions and feelings about things publicly heard. When you're in a room with music and it's confronting you and it's challenging you with something, it's just pushing your boundaries a little bit of what you're used to.
Musicians can face backlash from fans who say they should stay out of politics, but Chapman professor and music journalist Sean O'Connell disagrees.
But I think if you have these beliefs and you have the talent and you can make a great song out of it, you should.
Himes says musicians also want to speak out on events and issues that their audiences care about. In the case of Springsteen, he has spent his career writing about his working class upbringing.
I mean, I think he felt he couldn't stay silent on something, that he really wanted to kind of be right there with the people on the streets. And I think it's about community in a lot of ways.
The America I've written about, that has been a beacon of hope and liberty for 250 years, is currently in the hands of a corrupt, incompetent, and treasonous administration.
It's about everyone together and to be positive in looking at things in a way that we can change things if we all kind of stick together.
Bruce Springsteen's tour with the E Street Band starts March 31st in Minneapolis. He will play 2 nights here in Los Angeles. Reporting for Chapman News, I'm Gabriela Reynoso.
Thank you, Gabby. Santa Ana residents have a new way to save money for streaming services. The city is expanding its digital library through Hoopla, giving residents free access to movies, music, and ebooks with a library card. The Santa Ana City Council will spend $75,000 on the project. Brian Sternberg, the Library Services Director at Santa Ana Public Library, says the goal is to increase access, adding, quote, "Services like Hoopla help make sure access to entertainment, education, and culture isn't limited by someone's ability to pay for multiple streaming subscriptions. Libraries help level the playing field by providing free access to movies, television, music, audiobooks, comics, and ebooks through a library card."
I'm Jenna McLaughlin, and coming up, I'll introduce you to OC Cal, a fixture in the Orange Circle with his ragtime piano. That's coming up after the break.
Good afternoon. I'm Natalie Ross. And I'm Samantha Thomas.
Good afternoon and welcome to Chapman News. I'm Steve.
Good afternoon and welcome to this week's edition of Chapman News.
Since 2010, Chapman News has been covering weather, entertainment, sports, politics, and news, broadcasting from Dodge College's Marionette Studios.
As the only live newscast in Orange County, our journalists aim to highlight local, statewide, and national communities.
We're here to provide the most accurate, engaging, and relevant news for our community.
Tune in to our nationally recognized and award-winning newscast, Chapman News.
Watch locally on Channel 6 or on our YouTube to stay updated with the latest.
So Simone, have you filled out your March Madness bracket yet?
After my football fantasy results, I'm staying away from the college sports for a second, but we're just a week away from March Madness. Chapman News reporter Lindsay Johnson joins us now with some college basketball and more in sports.
That's right. The big dance starts 1 week from today. But before there's March Madness, there's conference play. Let's start by sizing up the always competitive Big Ten. The first game is today at 5 p.m. Eastern, where the number 16 Oregon takes on number 17 Maryland. Leading the division is number 1 Michigan, who beat Michigan State Sunday 90-80. Taking the number 6 seed going into the playoffs is UCLA, which is only in its second season in the Big Ten. Competition is tough this year, with so much talent as the conference recently grew. But we will see how UCLA does leading up to the finals this Sunday. Today marks the start of the Players' Championship, often called the 5th major of the PGA Tour. Rory McIlroy, the highly decorated golfer, won the championship last year, proving to be tough competition for the rising stars of golf. Recently in the PGA Tour, Akshay Bhatia won the 2026 Arnold Palmer Invitational on Sunday. Bhatia had an incredible comeback due to his strong putting game, setting him apart as a rising star for this golf season. He is one of many young leaders at this point in the tour, along with Ricky Castillo, who won his first Open on the tour last Sunday at the Puerto Rico Open. Last week, Chapman football gained a new permanent head coach, Casey Shine. Shine had been the interim head coach this season after longtime coach Bob Owens had left the previous year. Shine has been the recruiting coordinator and offensive coordinator for the Panthers since 2012. Shine describes this promotion as an exciting time for the team.
Every coach is always wanting more, to get better, to push, and so like we've talked with our team about that, and our program is about that. It is about making each day your best.
Shine looks forward to the future of Chapman football under his direction and can't wait to see how the program will continue growing. I'm Lindsay Johnson. Thanks for watching, and that's your Panther Sports Roundup for this week. Back to Simone and Lisa.
Thanks, Lindsay. At the popular Orange Circle near the Chapman campus, there's one gentleman who stands out.
He wears a bright orange fedora and uses music to lift people's spirits. Chapman News reporter Jenna McLaughlin joins us live in the studio to tell us more about a local celebrity. And Jenna, you look absolutely radiant in your orange. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
That's right. I felt it was only fitting a tribute to his orange fedora. If you've spent any time in Old Town Orange, you've probably heard the music before you've ever seen him. The man in the orange hat, known as OC Cal, has turned street performing into a way to spread joy and help others. Let's see how his music has become part of the community.
Okay, here we go.
Meet John Mayer, otherwise known as OC Cal, a familiar sight around the Orange Circle. With a rolling piano and his signature orange fedora, his music echoes through the circle, usually on Saturday and Sunday mornings.
I heard the music from all the way over at Blaze, and that made me want to walk over here. And yeah, it sounds really lively and it feels like Old Orange, so it's super cool.
Originally from St. Louis, Missouri, Mayer began playing piano at a young age.
I actually started watching my two older sisters when I was about 4 take piano lessons. And then after they were done, I would climb up on the piano stool and play what they were trying to learn, which really made them mad at me. and it gave me a lot of attention, which I liked a lot as a child.
He first started busking 30 years ago, and over time became something of a local celebrity in Northern California.
So I got a little piano and I put it out on the street. We were living in Petaluma, California, and started playing my 5 songs.
He was known as Petaluma Pete. He even has his own park bench in Petaluma and a proclaimed Petaluma Pete Day. That persona morphed into what we now know as OC Cal. The name even nods to a classic jingle.
OC Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal. OC Cal, OC Cal, OC Cal.
Mayor says his goal is simple.
I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life, since I don't work for a living anymore, to helping others through the use of making music.
He feels every song is just another way to bring people together in the heart of Old Town Orange.
A little happiness can go a long, long way.
So if you hear ragtime music drifting through the orange circle, there's a good chance OC Cal is right around the corner. And to OC Cal and the many buskers who shared their music here in Old Town Orange, thank you for making the circle a little brighter. Reporting for Chapman News, I'm Jenna McLaughlin.
Thank you, Jenna. This Saturday is March 14th, which means that it's also Pi Day.
Yes, it does, Lisa. The day that celebrates the mathematical constant 3.14. I'm getting hungry thinking about it, but many are just here for the pie. Here's where you can slice into the best deals. Blaze Pizza will offer a second pizza for $3.14 when you buy an 11-inch pizza. At the Pizza Press, you can score a signature pizza also for $3.14 when you order in the app. And on a sweeter note, Burger King will offer a free Hershey's pie with a purchase of $3.14 or more. Most of these deals are valid exclusively on March 14th. I mean, that sounds delicious, Lisa. I think I'll have to go down and check some of those out. Can you name any of the numbers in pi?
Of course I can. It's 3.1415926.
There we go. I'm Simone Jackson.
I got lucky. I'm Lisa Pressler. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow up on our social media and check out our website. We'll see you next week.